All right, so get this. We're diving into something that's really got people talking. Collider put out this list of like the top 10 TV shows of the last 25 years. And let me tell you, it's causing some serious debate online.
Yeah. You know what's interesting to me is they're not just saying, like, oh, these were popular. They're really saying, like, TV in the last 25 years is, like, as good as movies. You know what I mean? Like, high art.
Totally. And they picked some shows that are a little unexpected. Like, I mean, Nathan For You is on here, which is, I don't even know how to describe that show.
Oh, it's wired.
But then, like, total classics, too. But are they really classics? Because, get this, The Sopranos isn't even on the list.
Yeah. I feel like they're trying to make us rethink what makes a TV show great. You know, like, is it how many people watched it, or is it something else?
Yeah, it's making everybody think for sure. Okay, so let's break this thing down, starting from number 10, Lost. Now, this is a show that had me glued to the TV. Plane crashes a mysterious island. Polar bears. I mean, come on.
Talk about a wild ride, right? And this was like before streaming and everything. So it was like 20 episodes a year, and we had to wait all summer to find out what happened. People were going crazy online with theories.
It's like it knew it was coming, you know? All these streaming shows that are like one long story.
Yeah, Lost was ahead of its time, for sure.
Okay, so number 9, and this one might surprise you, Community.
Now, this show was never like a huge hit, but it's got this cult following, you know?
It was just so clever and like self-aware. All the movie parodies and stuff. It was so unique.
And you know, those fans are still waiting for that movie they keep talking about.
Maybe someday.
Ugh.
All right, number 8. We've got a show that definitely knows how to get fans talking. Game of Thrones. I mean, this show was everywhere.
Yeah, epic battles, crazy plot twists, dragons. It had it all.
It was like watching a movie every week.
Game of Thrones really showed that TV could be just as big as Hollywood.
But those last couple seasons, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I think they kind of fumbled the ending.
Yeah, it's hard when you've got a story that big to wrap it up in a way that makes everyone happy.
Yeah, but even with that, you've got to admit, Game of Thrones had a huge impact on TV.
Okay, get ready for number 7, because this one is a curveball.
Yeah.
Nathan, For You. Have you ever seen this show?
I have, actually. It's so strange.
It's like this weird mix of comedy and like a documentary, but also kind of fake. He's trying to help these businesses, but his ideas are just so crazy.
Yeah, he's always pushing the limits of what's acceptable, and you're never quite sure if he's serious or not.
The article called it like ridiculous comedy and oddly realistic absurdism.
Yeah, that's about right.
A lot of people online were not happy to see it on the list. They were like, this is too weird. It doesn't belong here. But I don't know. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's definitely not for everyone, but it's a good example of how comedy is changing, you know? People are looking for something different, something that makes them think.
For sure. Okay, so before we get into the top 6, let's pause for a sec. What do you think so far? Any big surprises?
Well, this is just the beginning. We haven't even gotten to the really iconic shows yet. I'm excited to see what they have to say about the top 6.
All right, so we're back and we're getting into the top 6. And at number 6, we have Mad Men. Now, this was a show that was all about like style and secrets and the American dream. Did you get into it?
Yeah, Mad Men was one of those shows you gotta like really pay attention to. It's not like all action and explosions. It's about the characters and their relationships.
Yeah, like Don Draper. That guy was so mysterious, you never knew what he was going to do next.
The article said it was like a masterclass in character development, and I think that's spot on, you know?
And the whole like 1960s setting was so cool.
Yeah, it really captured the whole vibe of that era. But it wasn't just like nostalgia. It used that setting to talk about bigger ideas, like identity and ambition and finding meaning in a world that's constantly changing.
It definitely made you think. Okay, number 5 is a show that's a little bit darker, Breaking Bad.
Oh, man. The show, when it came out, it was like nothing else on TV.
Yeah, it was so intense.
It took this like basic idea, a guy with nothing to lose turns to crime. And it turned it into this like Shakespearean tragedy.
The acting was amazing too. Bryan Cranston as Walter White. I mean, come on.
The article called it like one of the 21st century's most essential TV shows.
It really pushed the boundaries of what a crime drama could be.
Yeah, it wasn't afraid to show the dark side of things.
And those moral dilemmas.
Yeah.
It had you questioning like, who are the good guys and who are the bad guys?
You never knew what was going to happen next.
Okay, number 4. This one's a little more recent. Succession. This show is all about the ultra-rich and, like, how messed up they are.
Oh, yeah, the Roy family. They're terrible people, but you can't stop watching them.
It's like a train wreck. You can't look away.
The article said it was like a perfect time capsule of the last few years, capturing all the anxiety and excess of our time.
Yeah, it definitely felt relevant.
And the dialogue is so sharp and witty. It's like every line is a quote.
But this next one, number 3, is a show that's very close to my heart. 6 Feet Under. This is a show that is not afraid to deal with the big stuff. Life, death, family, you name it.
6 Feet Under is one of those shows that really stays with you. It's so honest and unflinching about these really difficult topics, but
Yeah.
it also finds a way to be funny and heartwarming at the same time.
And the series finale, have you seen it?
Oh yeah, it's legendary. One of the best series finales of all time.
It's the kind of ending that just leaves you thinking about it for days.
It really makes you reflect on your own life and what it all means.
Okay, before we get to the top 2, let's take a little detour to a show that's a little lighter, but no less brilliant. Number 2. Arrested Development. Now, this is a show that's all about this crazy family, the Bluths, and their, totally dysfunctional lives.
Arrested Development was such a game changer for sitcoms. It was so clever and meta, and the humor was just so layered.
You could watch it 5 times and still catch new jokes.
And the characters are just iconic. Gob, Lucille, Tobias, they're all so perfectly realized.
The article specifically mentioned the first 3 seasons as being the gold standard.
Yeah, those were the best, for sure.
Okay, drum roll, please. The number 1 show of the past 25 years, according to the Collider, is The Wire.
Wow. The Wire is one of those shows that's more than just a TV show. It's like a work of art.
Yeah, it's a show that demands your attention. It challenges you.
It's not something you can just watch passively. You have to really engage with it.
The article called it a slow burn, but man, is it worth it.
The Wire has so much to say about America, about race and class and poverty and corruption.
It really holds a mirror up to society.
And the amazing thing is, it was made over 20 years ago, but it's still so relevant today.
Yeah, it really speaks to the power of its storytelling and the depth of its characters.
David Simon, the creator, he was a crime reporter before he got into TV, so he brought this realness to the show.
You could tell that he really knew what he was talking about.
It's a show that's both heartbreaking and hopeful at the same time. It shows the ugliness of the world, but it also suggests that change is possible. It's a masterpiece.
It's crazy how relevant that still is, you know?
It really is like they captured something timeless.
But okay, obviously The Wire at number 1, I get it. But the rest of this list, people online were losing their minds.
Oh yeah, the comment section was a war zone.
People were arguing about every single show. Why is this on here? Why isn't that on here?
That's the fun of these lists, right?
Totally. It gets people talking.
Makes you think about what really makes a show great.
A lot of people were mad that The Sopranos wasn't on there.
Yeah, The Sopranos was a huge deal. But remember, this list is only for shows from the last 25 years.
Right, The Sopranos just missed the cutoff. But there were some other shows that people were like, wait a minute, where's this? Like The Americans, Deadwood, Homeland, Sons of Anarchy.
Oh yeah, I saw those comments.
There were so many shows that people felt were snubbed.
It just shows you how much good TV there is these days.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. Some people were even saying that Community and Nathan For You were too weird to be on the list.
Yeah, I saw that too. Some people were like, this is too niche.
But other people were like, no, these shows are brilliant.
I think it's cool that they included some shows that maybe not everyone has seen.
Yeah, it's a chance to discover something new.
And at the end of the day, it's just a list,
It's not like the end-all be-all.
It's just a starting point for conversation.
Yeah, it's about celebrating all the great TV out there.
And making us think about what makes a show truly great.
So we've talked about the past 25 years of TV. What about the next 25 years? What do you think the future holds?
That's a good question. I think we're going to see even more innovative storytelling, and new technology is going to change how we watch TV.
Yeah, who knows what it's going to look like.
But I think one thing's for sure, TV is going to keep getting better and better.
And we'll be here to talk about it.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the best TV of the last 25 years. We want to hear from you. What shows do you think should be on this list? Head over to our social media and let us know. We'll be back next week with a whole new topic to explore. Until then, happy watching.